So the clinic for Elite has been here in Manchester probably for about a year now, and they have recently just opened up another clinic in Birmingham. We have patients coming from all over the UK, Edinburgh, Liverpool, Scotland, all over, coming to have their treatment here at Elite, following their treatment over in Turkey, having their hair transplants. Hair transplants have become a lot more popular in the UK now due to celebrities such as David Beckham, people like that having transplants in the UK. People are a lot more reluctant to travel over to Turkey to have transplants, but given that Elite have clinics in Manchester and in the UK to follow up their post-treatment, people feel a lot more reassured to be having the treatment done in Turkey and then coming back to the UK and having ongoing treatment here. I've been working here with Elithair for about 5 or 6 months now, and every patient that we see, that I have seen coming through the door, has had nothing but 5-star reviews for the treatment that they've received when they were over in Turkey having their hair transplants and the treatment that they received back in the UK. The aftercare has been second to none for all of them, and the transplants themselves have also been amazing.
Harry Martin from Coventry, 40 years old. I was losing hair from probably about 18 years old. And it was never a major concern to start with. I thought I'd be all right. But I tried all different treatments from going forward and nothing really worked. So I always looked at a hair transplant, but I was umming and ahhing, is it the benefits, pros and cons, and was it worth it? But for your confidence, it's boosted my confidence massively. I do still wear a hat now, but I think that's more of a habit. But I'll happily go out without my hat, whereas before I would not leave my house without putting something on my head because of how I felt. But now, I'm really happy with it. And I've had so many people ask me at work, friends, family, asking me about it, where'd you get it done? Is it worth it? Was it painful? What's the aftercare like? Everything like that, so, yeah.
The location that we are in Manchester makes it a fun place to visit, with the museums, football grounds, shopping centres, everything that Manchester has to offer. So people often who are travelling from further afield to come to the Elite Clinic normally make a day out of it as well.
So I've got one friend at work that he's got receding hair. He actually asked me for the link. He showed his brother. His brother was interested as well. The amount of people that say to me how different it looks, how good it looks, how different I am at work, more confident with it, and that's really bad, isn't it?
My name's John Southwell from Kent in southeast of UK. I'm a heating engineer, 45 years old, and until recently I was quite severely balding on top until I went to Elithair.
Elite offer treatment to patients from all ages, from the 20s up until the 50s and 60s, and from all the patients that I've saw here at Elite, there hasn't been any who's been dissatisfied or had any complaints regarding the treatment or the aftercare that they've had from Elite.
Fun fact about this photo is my dad was looking through his old photos, this is where I got it from, and he wondered who the guy was holding the dog, because he's so used to me having hair now. He didn't recognise me. My hair loss has affected my My confidence a hell of a lot when going out, meeting people, especially women, and yeah, it has actually had a knock-on effect that like I'd be a lot less confident, and yeah, it's not been a great thing to have hair loss. I wouldn't recommend it. No, was it? Well, no, it's 2022. I think it was actually when I actually first found them. I looked online. I looked through the reviews, Trustpilot, other reviews online, just to gauge a feel what was being said about the company, the size of the company, because I was well aware I could get the hair transplant done for probably half the cost of actually going to Elithair, but I didn't want a chance messing it up. I'd rather go with a company that I feel comfortable spending my money with, which can be properly, fully professional.
I think from my experience working here with Elite, I think they are well known and very well established in the hair transplant industry and offering the aftercare. One thing that did stand out for me from researching and knowing about other hair transplant hospitals in Turkey or Istanbul is that they don't offer any sort of aftercare back over in the UK, and I think that's a real standout benefit that Elite offer their patients, that when they come back to the UK they're not left on their own, and that the treatment is followed up and have more better success rates with it.
The big difference is that now when I walk around, I'm doing anything, I've got quite a big smile on my face. I'm actually a lot happier in myself. Whereas before I was a little bit miserable. I must admit it did have an impact upon my personality. It certainly made me feel depressed.
18 onwards, it was getting bad and getting further. It got that bad. It was like, it came up at the sides, and it was like the McDonald's sign. It was that bad. My kids were singing the song to me like, loving it, and that's how bad it was. So I'd laugh about it at the time, but it was a bit like, it's quite depressing. And like I say, it's for your confidence. For men, it's a big thing. So yeah, I was in two minds about getting it done, but my partner actually encouraged me to get it done. But had I not got it done, I think I dread to think what it'd look like now if I hadn't got it done.
From my experience of going to the transplant clinic twice, translation was not a problem. There's a translator that's basically assigned to a group of people, but he's always on hand pretty much if there's any questions needs to be asked. I never had a problem with understanding them explaining the situation. Whenever you're sitting with the doctors, there's a translator on hand so that everything is completely understood. So no issues there whatsoever. If I was to go down the UK route and have what I'd have done by Elithair in Turkey, I can imagine I probably would have spent £20,000, which quite honestly is well out of my budget. I spent well within my budget and I didn't spend all the money I had. I had money, I wouldn't say laying around, but I have a decent job. I own my own business as a heating engineer, and I don't have a partner or children, so I don't have frivolous to spend money on.
So that was nearly 2 years ago. But once you have the operation, you obviously you get shedding anyway. So what you put, you get some hair comes out, but then it obviously grows back. But you obviously you see the results from about 4 months onwards.
A lovely tour of Birmingham. Got to see a lot of things around here. It's been a lovely day. Time for a beer.